The rain fell cold over London on May 23, 1701. At Execution Dock, a crowd gathered to watch the end of a pirate. At the center stood William Kidd, once a respected sea captain, now condemned as one of the most notorious criminals of his time. The noose tightened, the platform dropped, and then, according to some legends, the rope snapped. The story says, for a brief eerie moment, Kidd stood between life and death. Minutes later, a second attempt ended his life, but it was only the beginning of his legend. Captain Kidd wasn't always a pirate. Born in Scotland and later a wealthy resident of New York City, he was trusted, connected, and successful. In 1696, he sailed from England with a royal commission to hunt pirates, not become one. But the voyage went wrong from the start. His crew was stripped away by the Royal Navy, money ran thin, tension grew. Then, somewhere in the Red Sea, everything changed. Kidd's gunner, William Moore, died under suspicious circumstances. According to legend, during a heated argument, Kidd struck Moore with an iron-bound bucket, killing him. After that moment, there was no going back. Kidd turned to piracy. He attacked ships of all nations, and in 1698 captured a ship loaded with silk, gold, and spices. It made him rich, but also marked him as a target. By the time Kidd reached the Caribbean, the Crown had already declared him a pirate, so he sailed north, toward America. But here's where the story takes a darker turn. It is speculated that, before his capture, Kidd passed through the waters of Raritan Bay, a quiet stretch today, but in the late 1600s it was something very different. These waters were alive with pirates. The coastline between Sandy Hook and New York City was a hidden world of smugglers, privateers, and corrupt officials. Wealthy merchants quietly funded pirate voyages. Stolen goods were bought and sold in plain sight. Pirates weren't just tolerated here, they were protected, and Kidd knew it. According to local accounts, Kidd anchored in these waters during his final voyage. From there, he sent men ashore into Monmouth County, not to raid, but to hide something. Treasure. Gold, silver, jewels taken from ships across the world. Some say he buried it in secret locations along the Jersey Shore, using landmarks only he understood. Others believe he tried to buy his freedom, bribing powerful men with pieces of his stolen fortune. But whatever his plan was, it failed. Kidd sailed to Boston hoping to clear his name. Instead, he was arrested, sent back to England, and executed. His body was covered in tar, chained, and hung along the River Thames, left to rot as a warning. But warnings don't stop legends. They create them. Before he died, Kidd hinted there was more treasure. Hidden, waiting. And that's where New Jersey comes in. For over 300 years, stories have circled the Jersey Shore. Near Sandy Hook, where Kidd is known to have anchored, legends tell of chests buried deep in the dunes. Further south, along Barnegat Bay, there are whispers of hidden valuables tied to a strange story. That Kidd once came ashore, fell for a local farm girl, and buried treasure nearby before disappearing back to sea. Long before roads, bridges, or skylines, the shoreline near Raritan Bay looked very different, marked only by trees, water, and memory. Two enormous elm trees once stood miles apart in Monmouth County, one near the mouth of the Matawan Creek in Keyport, the other farther inland on a rise once known as Fox Hill, now known as Rose Hill. These trees were known by a strange name, Kidd's Rangers. Sailors in the 17th century used something called range markers. If two distant objects lined up just right from the water, they could guide you to a precise location, through fog, darkness, or unfamiliar shores. Captain William Kidd used those two trees the same way, not to guide a ship safely into harbor, but to mark something hidden. If you sailed along the coast at exactly the right angle, and those two trees aligned into one, they would point, like an arrow, to a single spot along the shoreline, a place some believe was near what later became known as Cliffwood Beach, where coins have, from time to time, been found buried in the sand. No maps, no markings, just two silent trees, and the knowledge of how to read them. But here's where the story turns. Both trees are gone, lost to time, storms, and centuries of change. Though many suspect one still stands at Rose Hill Cemetery in Matawan. The coastline itself has shifted, eroded, reshaped, which means if Kidd really did use them, then his marker is broken, his path erased, and whatever those trees once pointed to is now hidden without a guide. Some say the treasure was never there. that it was a lie to delay his execution. Others believe it was found long ago and quietly taken. But every so often, someone digging along that shoreline finds something small. A coin, a fragment, a trace, a clue. Just enough to suggest that those trees may have been pointing to something real. Even today, people walk the quiet beaches of New Jersey with metal detectors, digging into the sand, chasing whispers from the past. Because out there, beneath the dunes, the creeks, and the shifting shoreline, the treasure of William Kidd may still be waiting. And now, we may never know where.